Hello, everybody. This is Vince Russo, and this is a special edition of a bucket full of chicken X. Haven't done one in a while. This is a show where I talk about a lot of things that are on my mind. And I'm going to continue that trend today. There's a lot of things I have something to say about. Don't get many opportunities, but I do right here on my own show, Bucket Full of Chicken X. As you know, I got the name from the late, great Yokozuna, who literally used to eat bucket full of chicken necks. And from what I understand, this may be an old folks tale. I don't know, bro. I never saw it. But he actually used to dip the chicken necks, but I actually think they were turkey necks. So let me correct myself. He actually used to dip the turkey necks, I think, in like lard or dressing or something that like was completely gross. I mean, I heard that story, God, bro, almost 25 years ago, 22, 23 years ago, about Yokozuna eating the buckets full of turkey necks. I kind of made a little bit of an adjustment, bucket full of chicken necks, and here we are with the show. A lot of topics I want to cover. I want to let you know that this show is brought to you by ProWrestlingLoot.com. Let me tell you about Pro Wrestling Loot. Are you looking for a holiday gift for that pro wrestling fan in your life? Well, Pro Wrestling Loot has got you covered. Grab Pro Wrestling Loot special $20 holiday box today for that special fan in your life. Worried about being on the naughty list for not sending a gift in time? Well, we've taken care of that too. This special box guarantees to ship just in time for the holiday. Pro Wrestling Loot is a monthly professional wrestling subscription box filled with wrestling merchandise. The mystery box comes packed with autographed photos, action figures, t-shirts, and exclusive collectibles you won't find anywhere else. You won't find them at Target. You won't find them at Toys R Us. You won't find them at Walmart. This is unique wrestling merchandise. A lot of it very, very hard to find. Sign up now at ProWrestlingLoot.com for just $24.99 monthly with no commitments. In other words, you could just order one box. You don't got to sign up for the long term. For all of you first-time subscribers that sign up now, you will save 10% off your first month's box using the promo code Russo. So you go to ProWrestlingLoot.com, you use the code Russo, you'll save 10% off your first box. Head over now to ProWrestlingLoot.com and remember, save 10% off your first monthly box by using the promo code Russo. Again, that's ProWrestlingLoot.com, Pro Wrestling Loot, for the fan in all of us. All right, guys, a lot of things I want to talk about. I just got off the phone, bro, with Huffington. I was going to say Huntington Post, because anybody that's from Long Island or knows Long Island, there's a Huntington, Long Island, exit 49 north, I believe, off the Long Island Expressway. I believe 49 south is Amityville, but 49 north is Huntington. I just got off the phone with the Huffington Post. They did a little interview with me about today's product. And of course, if you ask me, I'm going to tell you. They asked my opinion. I was outspoken and I told them. And one of the things was interesting, towards the end of the interview, the interviewer goes to me, "Oh, well, let me be the devil's advocate." I love when they want to be the devil's advocate. He goes, "What about the Young Bucks? What about the Young Bucks? Aren't the Young Bucks over? Or do you think they're over just because of their in-ring work, so they're over to the marks?" He goes, "Just playing devil advocate. What about the Young Bucks?" I said, "Okay, bro, real simple. What's the Young Bucks character? Tell me what their character is." And here's what the guy said. "Well, I think." I said, "Stop right there, bro. You should never have to think about what anybody's character is. You should know immediately when I say the Young Bucks what their character is. If you can't tell me what their character is, then they're over to the marks because of their in-ring work and would probably never play to a large stage, across the world. So the minute you say, I think, you don't know what their character is, therefore they don't have a character, therefore they're getting over because of their in-ring work at Ring of Honor and wherever else they perform. And bro, that's cool. That's cool, bro. They're making a living. They're making good money. I got nothing against the young bucks, but don't think for a second these guys are over because of their character and they would appeal to casual wrestling fans or even non-wrestling fans, television viewers, because they would not. I mean, come on, bro. WWE is flirting with 2.5 million people on Monday night. They got the great Finn Balor. They got the great Samoa Joe. They got the great Asuka. They got all these freaking greats, bro. Where are all the people? Where are all the people? The 2.5 million people is their base, bro. Those are the marks. Where are the people? So what are you telling me? You bring the young bucks in to the WWE, that 2.5 million is going to go up to 4 million? Is that what you're trying to tell me? Let's not freaking kid ourselves, bro. Okay, let's call a spade a spade. Speaking of calling a spade, bro, you're going to find this very comical. You know how, like, bro, I'm known for my bros. And bro, I don't purposely say bro or try to get a bro in. I say bro. Bro is part of my dialogue. I just say bro. I don't know how bro came about. I don't know when bro came about. I'm sure it came about somewhere in the wrestling business. And it's bro. Some people don't like the bro. Hey, bro, you don't like the bro, then don't listen to it. What do you want me to tell you? But I always say, bro, I am not the king of bro. And I don't take claim in being the king of bro. And I've always sat here and I said, there's only one king of bro. One king of bro, in my opinion. And that king of bro is none other than Diamond Dallas Page. Diamond Dallas Page will out-bro me every single day of the week. With that being said, you want to hear something funny? Guess who now is working for Diamond Dallas Page and DDP Yoga? As a producer in Atlanta at the headquarters of DDP Yoga, none other than my son, Will Russo. And I want to publicly say I am very thankful that DDP has given my son an opportunity. DDP's a great guy, bro. A great guy. Yeah, just the real deal. But here's the part that I think is funny. Between my bros on the phone in every conversation we have and the daily bros from DDP, I'm afraid that between the two of us, we're going to bro my oldest son, Will, to death. Every other word he hears every day is going to be bro. But I want to thank Paige for giving my son an opportunity. And I want to give him the crown. He is the king of bro. I am just a disciple of Paige and the broness. He is the king of bro. And, let me tell you something too. Robbie E is a disciple of me. Robbie E tries to throw bros around. He gets that from me. So there's Paige, there's me, and then there's Robbie E. So that's it with that. Paige, you're a stand-up guy, bro. I hope my son doesn't let you down. And I told him, bro, I said, bro, you are going to have to work with Paige. I said, Paige is a workaholic, bro. Paige ain't going to stand for laziness, bro. Paige is the first one there and the last one to leave, man. You got to have that kind of work ethic, bro. Otherwise, you're going to be out the door. I already warned my son. What else is going on? I want to talk about, bro, the Giants. I'm following this every day closely. They're in the hunt for Giancarlo Stanton. I hope they get Stanton. Bro, the Giants have not had a home run threat since Bobby Bonds, even when they won all those World Series, bro. everything fell into place. Guys got key hits. They haven't had that one bomber since Barry Bonds, bro. So, I'm keeping my fingers crossed. I would love to see Giancarlo Stanton go to the Giants, even though that's not going to solve all their problems, bro. There are a lot of holes on that team, bro. A lot of freaking holes. And one big bat that you can pitch around is not going to be the be-all, end-all, but it's a nice start. I'm keeping my eye on that. For those of you asking, I got feedback on my show at WKNUS in Denver. I did a Sunday night show a couple of weeks back. The feedback was good. The feedback was positive. The plan is to let me fill in more here and there when somebody has to make a shift, miss a shift, and then we'll just go from there and we'll just see what happens. But I want to point something out to people listening to this show, just so they know. Bro, I'm 56. I'm going to be 57 in January. Bro, you never stop paying your dues. Okay, I'm new to this radio world, and I want to break into radio, and it's not my world, it's their world. So even at 56 years old, I got to be prepared to do what they tell me to do and what they want me to do. And I mean, bro, listen, I was going there every, Tuesday and Thursday or Monday and Thursday. I was going down to the radio station twice a week, bro, leaving my house at about 6:30 in the morning, sitting in traffic on 25 to go down to the radio station to learn from the great Peter Boyles. Paying my dues, bro. As a matter of fact, Peter asked me to go back there tomorrow. I'm going back there tomorrow. You never stop paying your dues, bro. Nothing gets handed to anybody. And there's all this entitled generation today that doesn't want to work for things. They want things handed to them. When it gets too tough, they quit, bro. Here I am, 56, bro. I'm still paying dues because I want to get into radio, man. I love doing this podcast. I've got a message. I want to bring the message to radio. So anybody out there interested, let me know, bro. Bro, shoot, bro. I may relocate if I got a radio gig. Who knows? But you never stop paying your dues. Let me move on. Bro, I got to tell you, why I hate the news and why I've never watched the news my entire life. Bro, you put on CNN, they got to spin one way. Then you put on Fox News, they got to spin other way. So if both of the two biggest news corporations are so split and so one-sided, then right there and then that nobody's telling the truth. Right then and there that the truth lies somewhere in the middle. So what's the point of watching CNN or what's the point of watching Fox News if you have to take everything they say with a grain of salt? The days of Walter Cronkite are over, bro. Jim Jensen in New York, the New York market where I grew up, those days are over, bro. There's an agenda in the news if you haven't noticed. So that's why I'm not a follower of the news. But listen, I had Fox News on this morning, and bro, I swear to God, man, this is what I can't stand about people. I can't stand about news. I can't stand about social media. Bro, they were about to do a story on Jesse Ventura when they came back from the break. So leading into the break, bro, this is what the guy said on Fox News leading into the break. Coming up, wait until you hear about the comments made by washed up wrestler, failed governor, Jesse Ventura. Now, this is the news, bro, who's supposed to be unbiased. They're supposed to present us the news. They are painting a picture and describing Jesse Ventura as a washed up wrestler and a failed governor. Now, I got to be honest with you, bro. I don't even think Jesse Ventura can tell you the last time he was in a wrestling ring. This is not Randy the Ram, where Jesse Ventura is still going out and working conventions and wrestling at 65 years old to get a paycheck. Jesse Ventura certainly does not need the money based on being the mayor, the governor of Minnesota. He's had successful podcasts, TV shows, radio shows. And to be labeled a washed up wrestler, bro, he's a retired wrestler. He's retired. He was a wrestler. He's not wrestling anymore. He's a retired wrestler, jackass. To call the guy a washed up wrestler, then I guess every retired wrestler is a washed up wrestler. Ric Flair is a washed up wrestler. Hulk Hogan is a washed up wrestler. According to Fox News, if you no longer wrestle and you're retired, you're a washed up wrestler. Then what makes him a failed governor? How about a former governor, bro? How about retired wrestler and former governor? That's about as unbiased as it gets. But you're calling a guy a washed-up wrestler who hasn't had a wrestling match. Bro, I bet you Ventura's last wrestling match, if I had to guess, I bet you it was probably about 25 years ago, if that, bro. If that. I'd love to know the last time Jesse Ventura stepped into a ring that this jackoff can call him a washed-up wrestler. But that's the problem with the news, bro. That's again, bro, that's how Dave Meltzer depicts Vince Russo. Oh, Vince Russo had a good 2 years, but the last 20 were a failure. A failure, bro. Increasing the ratings at WCW the first 3 months I was there when I had rain and I was allowed to do what I want. Go look at the numbers, Dave. But that's a failure. The 2 million people that were watching TNA when I was writing, that is a failure. You know what TNA gets today, bro? 200,000 if they're lucky. But the narrative and the opinion is Russo was good for 2, a failure for 20. First of all, bro, if I was a failure for 20, how would I possibly have been employed for 20? Like, seriously, you think if I was a failure, TNA would have got rid of me after the first 2 years? I don't know, maybe the first 5 years, bro, maybe the first 8, maybe the first 10, bring me back as a consultant. I mean, bro, you just don't do that with failures. I mean, the Giant, McAdoo just got fired as the head coach of the Giants. I don't think they're going to be bringing him back next year, bro. And he was only there for 2 years. That's a failure, bro. That's a failure. Not when you're with a company for 10 years and you bring them 2 million people. And the WWE, by the way, now is only drawing 2.5 million people. But let me get back to Jesse the Body Ventura. Bro, give me a freaking break. Washed up wrestler, failed governor. Please. All right, bro. Bro, listen, I've been, I still love my vinyl, bro. You could see my vinyl behind me. I'm trying to extend my taste a little. I've been listening to a lot of music of bands that I've heard of, but I've never listened to before. Bro, again, I love music. I love my records. I love to go hunting for albums. I love going to thrift stores. Bro, I got a whole route where I go Goodwill, the Ark, Salvation Army, the Goodwill in this town, the Salvation Army, the Black and Red record store, the Twist and Shout record store. I do like a whole, I cover a whole territory, bro, with vinyl. So I've started opening myself up to bands that I never listened to before. I'm going to throw a couple at you, bro. I recently started listening to Government Mule, bro. I think Government Mule's been around since 94, bro. A lot of the guys from the Allman Brothers band, they got together. They formed Government Mule, which is a little bit of Southern rock. I'm not a big Southern rock guy, bro. I'm not a big Skinhead guy. I'm not a big Allman Brothers guy. But I like the Government Mule. I like this. I'm listening to their album now, their last album, and I'm enjoying the crap out of it. Also, bro, I was at a thrift store the other day, and I stumbled across an album for $2 by a band that I had heard of and I had never listened to before, by the name of Spooky Tooth. Is that not a great name for a band? Spooky Tooth. I would love to learn the origins of that band, Spooky Tooth. And as a matter of fact, bro, when this show is over, I'm going to Google that. I'm going to Wikipedia that. How do you come up with a spooky tooth? How is a tooth spooky? But I sat back. I listened to this Spooky Tooth. I really enjoyed it, bro. I'm really starting to kind of expand my repertoire, when it comes to music, bro. I always was the guy, I would go back to the same old. But now I'm expanding it. Government Mule, Spooky Tooth. I'm a big fan now of this newer band, Bleachers. Got to open up your mind, bro. You got to always open up your mind to new things. I can't be listening to Tenacious D, Rihanna, and the Beatles, and that's it. I got to go beyond that, bro. Beyond that scope. Another thing I want to talk about today. Somebody's got to explain this to me. And then I'm going to get into the hot topic, bro. I got a hot topic. So I'm going to tell you about this. Then I'm going to tell you about collar and elbow. Then I'm going to tell you about the hot topic. You're going to want to stay around for the hot topic because it involves all this sexual harassment, misconduct, whatever you want to call it. And as it pertains to professional wrestling, and what I have to say may shock some people. I was on TMZ this morning, and I'm looking at pictures of a 5-month pregnant Khloe Kardashian going out in public trying to hide her baby bump. Now, I hate to break the news to Khloe, like, sister, are you that vain that you're 5 months pregnant and you're trying to freaking hide your baby bump with a freaking purse that is 10 times the size of a normal purse? You're holding it over your stomach. Bro, you're pregnant. You're 5 months pregnant. You're going to be 6 months pregnant, 7, 8, 9 months pregnant, bro. You're going to be out there, bro. You're going to have this huge gut, this huge belly with a baby inside, bro. That's what happens when you get pregnant, bro. If you're worried about the way you look and you're that vain that you're walking around freaking Calabasas, wherever it is that you live, trying to hide a baby bump, then why get pregnant in the first place? What did you expect, bro? I mean, what you were gonna poop the baby out? You weren't gonna get a gigantic pregnant belly that you're trying to hide? Ay. What's wrong with saying, look at me, I'm 5 months pregnant. I'm expecting a little bundle of joy in 5 months. What are you gonna do when you're 8 months pregnant, bro? What are you gonna do? What are you gonna walk around town holding a BF Goodrich tire so nobody sees your 9-month belly? You're pregnant, for crying out loud, bro. There comes a point where you got to get over the vanity. You can't hide a baby bump. What are you going to do? You're going to dress in ponchos? You're going to bring the poncho back? Man, if you're that freaking vain with the pouty lips and all that crap, then don't get pregnant. All right. Let me tell you about my good friends at Collar and Elbow. I want to take a moment to give a shout out to Collar and Elbow, the wrestling brand. Collar and Elbow was founded by the great Al Snow, and it is an apparel company based on the traditional values of professional wrestling. Classic, nice looking, top-notch apparel. Head on over right now to collarandelbowbrand.com. Use the code Russo. You'll save 10% off your order. That's code Russo at collarandelbowbrand.com. Use that at checkout to save 10%. Collar and Elbow, where wrestling passion meets street fashion. Collar and Elbow has also just dropped their winter releases, beanies, hoodies, and all new designs. Don't get left out in the cold this winter. Collar and Elbow will make sure you get all the heat. All right, guys, I got to talk about this sexual harassment. Bro, I don't know. There's so many adjectives for it. But right before I started this show, I was just reading, there was a panel discussing the movie Wag the Dog. You know, that was a movie, gosh, bro, probably 20 some years ago with Dustin Hoffman. And I guess John Oliver, I'm a big fan of John Oliver, bro. His show on HBO, bro, This Week Today, or Today This Week, or something like that, bro. It's on HBO. The writing on that show is freaking brilliant, bro. Absolutely brilliant. I've watched that show, the John Oliver show on HBO, compared to Samantha Bee, compared to Bill Maher. The writing on this show is absolutely incredible. Last Week Tonight, I think that's the name of it. Last Week Tonight. The writing is incredible, top notch. He's funny. He's quick. He's an intelligent guy. So I am a fan of John Oliver. Let me say this as well. I am a fan of Dustin Hoffman, a huge fan of the Dustin Hoffman. We can go all the way back to The Graduate, one of the greatest movies ever made. If you've never seen The Graduate, freaking get it. And you probably won't be able to find it on a Redbox. Go buy it online for $5. Own The Graduate. The Graduate's in my library behind me. A terrific film. I believe that was Dustin Hoffman's first film, but I'm a huge fan of, Dustin Hoffman. I mean, come on, bro. The Graduate, Kramer versus Kramer, Tootsie. I mean, just so many great films that does. Rain Man, bro. Come on with Rain Man. What a phenomenal film. So I'm a fan of both. But apparently this was some kind of a panel where they were talking about Wag the Dog, and John Oliver, man, just started calling out Dustin Hoffman about these recent allegations that were made about him. I mean, some 20, 30, 40 years ago, bro. And Oliver was calling Dustin Hoffman out on the carpet, making Dustin Hoffman feel very uncomfortable. Bro, I don't know how I feel about that. Like, it's a mixed bag, because John Oliver is calling out Dustin Hoffman on somebody's word. In other words, John Oliver wasn't there. John Oliver doesn't know the facts. John Oliver doesn't know what happened. It's an allegation, bro. I'll never forget. I spent some time with Randy Savage, and it was post Elizabeth, and I remember saying to him, like, Randy, like, how can you date women? Like, how can you go out with women? They know who you are, bro. They know who you got. You got money. They know you're a celebrity. Like, aren't you scared to death that you take a woman out on a date and the next thing you know, there's a lawsuit? She's accusing you of this, that, and the other thing. Bro, I brought that up with Savage like almost 25 years ago, and look what's happening now. So that's why, like, when people come forward, okay, bro, I'm sure there's something to the story, but bro, we'll never know the facts. I mean, outside of a Louis C.K. case where Louis C.K. said, yes, those women were correct. All of that is true. They're all telling the truth. I was in the wrong. And, bro, let's face it, maybe a guy like Dustin Hoffman, bro, maybe 40 years ago, he doesn't remember the details. I'm not making excuses for the guy, bro. I'm just saying, before you call somebody out, I mean, gosh, bro, I would want to know the facts before I call somebody out. And I'm going to tell you another thing, bro. Wrestling's going to get busted. There is no way that wrestling is going to stay under the radar, bro. Wrestlers out on the road, bro, with groupies or rats or whatever you want to call them, the girl in every town, you know how the thing goes, bro. It's going to happen. I mean, I promise you, it's just a matter of time before it's going to happen. Now, I saw some things in my day, and I don't talk about them. But you know what, bro? Maybe now it is the time to talk about them, because I know there's a lot of women walking around with baggage, bro. I know Christine Johnson is a dear friend of mine. She went through a lot of this, sexual misconduct while a producer at WCW. She shared a lot of the stories with me. She's mentioned names to me. And I know it's something that Christine has been carrying around with her for a very, 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 very long time, man. And man, I just would not want to be that person. And I know it has had a great effect on her life, because she never came forward and she never spoke about it. I'm going to tell you 2 instances too myself, bro. I know for a fact, a very good friend of mine, a woman wrestler, I know for a fact, lost out at an opportunity at the WWE because she would not succumb to the advances of somebody in management. Absolute truth. I also, bro, I never talk about this because this is a touchy one, but I could also tell you, when I was at the WWE, one of the female wrestlers came up to me and actually told me that she was raped by another wrestler on the roster. She told me who it was. She was very upset. She was very shooken. And I'm sure after all these years, she still carries that pain with her, which is really unfortunate. I've seen some of the wrestlers in bars act inappropriately. So it's just a matter of time. And we're seeing this in Hollywood. All it takes is one person to come forward, and then the floodgates open. And I'm telling you, it's going to happen. That's why I thank God, bro. I don't know what it was. Maybe it was because I love and respect my wife so much. When I had to work with women in wrestling, I was so careful, bro, and so respectful of their privacy and the way I handled them and the way I spoke to them and the way I treated them. Bro, a lot of times I would have to, go in their locker room and shoot stuff in their locker room. I was in that position many, many, many times. And I'm going to be honest with you, bro. I'm glad it was me, because I treated them like a gentleman. I was almost like a father. I was so careful. Bro, I was never one of these guys that worked with these girls and thought, oh my God, she's hot and what I do to her. Bro, I really did feel more like a father figure, because I knew, bro, you don't go down that road, man. You don't want to approach that road. I even heard, bro, I'm not going to mention names. I know people. I heard there's a writer who follows Alexa Bliss around backstage with his head straight up her ass. I never did anything like that, bro. I respected all the women that I ever worked with, and I'm so grateful for that. But a lot of guys didn't, bro. And I'm not going to say a lot of the girls weren't completely innocent, because they weren't. It's a two-way street. But, bro, I'm telling you, it's going to be one case, and the floodgates are going to open. And I'm also going to tell you this, bro. Here's one thing that's surprising me about, all these women coming forward now, about all these guys. Bro, it's a new guy every week. Danny Masterton, he was on that 70s show. He just got fired from the Netflix series, The Ranch. He's the latest one on the list. He's being accused of rape, bro. That's a heavy one. But, all these accusations, all these women coming forward now, and good for them, bro. Nobody should have to carry this around for the rest of their lives. And they're not whole, and it's on their conscience, and they want to get it out. I don't have an issue with that. But here's the question I have. What about women doing it to men? Do we honestly believe that there haven't been situations where there have been women in power that were doing the same exact thing to men that worked for them? I'm going to drop a bombshell here, bro. I'm going to throw it out there. When I was at TNA, a wrestler once came up to me. Now, listen, I don't know if this is true or not, but this is where I'm just wondering, why aren't men coming out? Because this stuff happens, and I'll get to my theory in a minute. I had a wrestler come up to me at TNA, and the wrestler told me that Dixie Carter tried to kiss him. This is what a wrestler told me. Now, bro, it was a wrestler, and here's where I bought into the stories, because that story in particular, bro, there were a lot of stories about Dixie Carter and wrestlers, but you know what, bro? I heard a lot of stories, but there was never any concrete evidence, or I never saw anything with my own eyes, so it was all rumor and hearsay. But when a guy came up to me and said Dixie Carter tried to kiss me, that I kind of believe, because it wasn't a wrestler coming up to me saying, oh, I just had, sex with my boss. That's not what he said. He said she came up to me, she tried to give me a kiss. So, I kind of believe that, because, wrestlers tend to blow things out of proportion. But he didn't say that. He didn't say, she asked me to go to a bedroom, but he says she tried to give me a kiss. So, knowing that, knowing the situation where there has to be situations where women in power have been inappropriate to men working underneath them. Now, why hasn't that come out? And I think I got a theory for that. How does that make a guy look? How does it make a guy look if he comes out and says, my boss was a female, and this female forced me to have sex with her, or forced me to do this, or was inappropriate to me? How does that make a man look with a male ego? Nothing against women, but men have an ego. And if a man comes forward and says a woman authority or a former boss of mine, made advances towards me, or sexual innuendos, or sexual misconduct, whatever the case may be, how is that man going to be looked at in society? And I'm not saying he's going to be looked at in a bad way, but what's his perception? What's he think? How does he think other men are going to look at him? Because it's happened. I know it happened. But yet, so far, it's been 100% men and not one man coming forward, because, bro, there are a lot of women in power out there. I mean, bro, remember, I'm thinking of the movie with Demi Moore and Michael Douglas. Remember that movie, bro, where she was his boss and she came on to him and she was the aggressor, and then she accused him of being the aggressor? Maybe that's what the guys are afraid of. Maybe the guys are afraid of the woman turning the table on them. Who knows? But I'll tell you what, bro, I think that's going to come forward too. I think we're going to see a case where a man comes forward and says, whether it was a female producer or director or head of a company, that a female was appropriate. I'm telling you, bro, we're going to see that. But mark my words, man, the floodgates are going to open in professional wrestling, because there's been misconduct there. There's been misconduct for years. And that's another thing, bro. Why aren't we seeing more rock stars, get nailed? I mean, my God, you want to talk about groupies and roadies and forget about it, bro. Forget about what happens in that world. Or is that where kayfabe comes in? Is that where, you know, the relationship between rats and groupies and musicians, the relationships with rats and groupies and wrestlers? And bro, I don't mean anything by rats. Don't be sending me letters about rats. I did not make up the term rats. That's what they were called back in the day. Rats, groupies, whatever you want to call them. I did not coin that phrase. As a matter of fact, bro, I'll be honest with you, I never met a rat. And if I did meet a rat, I didn't know she was a rat. I didn't know. I'm naive to that kind of stuff. But I mean, that was just the jargon used in wrestling for groupies. I mean, let me put it, I don't even know if groupies is okay to say nowadays. But is that being kept quiet because of the world of kayfabe? Is there a code? I don't know. But I just have a feeling, bro, that there's going to be one story out there. And I'm going to tell you something too, bro. A story has surfaced because it's been sent to me. And I'm kind of shocked that it hasn't hit mainstream wrestling media yet. Or maybe it has hit wrestling mainstream media and they're trying to cover it up. I'm sure it has, bro. If somebody sent it to me, I'm sure that, you know, other people are aware of it. So far, it hasn't come to fruition. But I'm telling you, bro, the floodgates are going to open when it comes to professional wrestling, and it's not going to be pretty. All right, everybody. I think that's it. I think that's all I got for today. I'm not even sure of what the schedule is. I know later on in the week we got Disco, Lions, Tigers, Bears, and Disco. I know I'll be doing a show every week. And listen, don't forget, bro, especially for the holidays, there's no reason to be missing Castrating the Marks for less than $1 a week, bro. You can join the Realm Network. Be a member of the Realm Network. Get Castrating the Marks on video and also on audio. You can hear it in the car, at work, wherever you want to hear it. Bro, it's less than $1 a week to subscribe to the brand. Plus, you get exclusive footage and audio and video you don't get on Podcast One, bro. It's less than $1 a week. You go to Realm Network, RELM Network.com or Russo'sBrand.com. Try us out. That's it, everybody, for Bucket Full of Chicken X. I will see you tomorrow. Look at these bags under my eyes, bro. Same bat time, same bat channel.